Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Steve. You guys wanted more one-on-one basketball videos, so here it is. Chris Paul versus Stephen Curry. Now, here's the thing. Offensively, Stephen Curry is superior to Chris Paul. However, all-around game, Chris Paul is superior to Stephen Curry, in my opinion. Chris Paul is he's a great scorer. He's very efficient. And on top of that, he's a great passer. But it's one-on-one, so let's forget about passing. But he's also a great defender. Some people say his defense is slightly overrated. It can be argued, and when you look at the stats, you actually think, like, okay, his defense is slightly overrated. But, I mean, the dude's been on, what, like 6, 7 all-defensive teams? I mean, goddamn, man, you know what I mean? So, his defense is just top-notch. Probably the best defensive point guard in the NBA at this time. Stephen Curry is probably one of the best offensive point guards in the NBA at this time. So when you have that, and then you have Chris Paul who can also score, but Chris Paul is incredibly strong. So in a one-on-one scenario, you imagine all things. Point guards, they don't play like they play in a real game. Because in a real game, it's all serious, it's all business. You want to get the W. But in a one-on-one, I have point guards post up, in one-on-one. So I imagine Chris Paul would probably post up Stephen Curry and actually baby him in the post. However, once Stephen Curry gets the ball and he gets hot, it's going to be lights out. It's going to be lights out for these two players. So it's really hard to say who would win. So to be honest, I can't say Chris Paul would win, or I can't say Stephen Curry would win. But what I can say is they would go back and forth. And I'm gonna let you guys judge this one. Who would win one-on-one, Chris Paul or Stephen Curry? Because if you think about it, on defense, Chris Paul is going to have a problem with Stephen Curry one-on-one. And the same thing vice versa. Even though Chris Paul is a great defender, one-on-one defense is completely different than being a great defensive player on a great team. It's completely different. Well, on any team, because teams use team defense. It's help defense, it's zone defense, it's man-to-man, but there's always help. And in a one-on-one scenario, you have to stay in front of your man, or you want to force him left or right, depending on the type of player you're playing. In my case, I would force Stephen Curry right, because any righty that's a good shooter doesn't like going right. Why? Because you have to turn your body to align your elbow with the rim. So that's what Chris Paul could do, but at the same time, it's Stephen Curry. He's mastered the shooting ability. So no matter which way you force him, he's most likely going to knock it down fucking 9 out of 10 times. And Chris Paul, if you give him the lane, or let's say you force Chris Paul left, he's too strong to force left. He's too strong to force right, because he'll just baby you to the basket. He'll just go by you and bump you off of him like LeBron does to every other player in the world. So that's the thing. Like, they're gonna go back and forth. It's not like a LeBron versus Paul George, or a Melo versus Paul George, or LeBron versus Melo. Those are kind of easier to explain who I think would win and why. But in this scenario, it's completely different, because we've never seen Chris Paul play in the post, and I imagine him playing in the post in this one-on-one scenario, because there's no other defense besides Curry. Yeah, Chris Paul has amazing handles, but he's not like super quick and athletic with it like Stephen Curry is, and that's no disrespect to Chris Paul, because he has one of the best handles in the world, but Stephen Curry is quicker and more athletic with his handles, so guarding Stephen Curry is going to be a problem, because Stephen Curry can take it to the basket as well. Let's be real for a second. Stephen Curry can take it to the rim as well. He's not some bum that doesn't know how to drive to the basket. He can drive to the basket. It's just his height, so he can't do it in games as much as he would like to. But in a one-on-one, I guarantee you he's going to be driving to the basket using his handling ability. And then if his layups are missing or he's getting fouled, he's going to start shooting the basketball. And the same thing with Chris Paul. So again, like, this thing, it's gonna go back and forth, and probably, I say this a lot. I said this with my who did I? Kobe versus Michael Jordan one-on-one, and I also said this with my LeBron versus Melo. But I actually think this would be the hardest one to judge, because if you think about it, they're both not super athletic, but Stephen Curry is more athletic and quick in terms of his dribbling ability. However, Chris Paul has an amazing dribbling ability, and it's almost impossible to take it away from him. And Chris Paul is stronger and a better defender, but again, it's one-on-one defense, So I don't know, man. This is a tough one. Again, you guys are gonna have to decide for me in the comment section below, and I know there's gonna be a lot of debating and hating, a lot of that in the comment section between you guys. But anyway, I'm out of here. I really appreciate all the support you guys have been giving me. It's been Steve with Basketball with Steve. Let's take over the basketball world. I'm out of here. Peace. That was really corny, by the way, but I'm out of here. Peace.